Welcome back, everybody. It is Disaster Dates with me. Hello. This is gonna be a different one. I've never done one like this. I don't have any notes. I'm strictly just going to be reacting to some messages that I've received. What about, you say? Well, we all know what happened in June of last year. In case you missed it, I went viral for a horrible reason. I was dating a guy for about 2 years. Turns out that he had a fiance and 5 children. I didn't find out about this until he went home, tried to find him, posted something on Facebook to see where he was, and lo and behold, the entire saga began. Yeah. It is still being published because I just got some messages yesterday from about 100 people in Colombia, South America. So yeah, it's there now too. So it's still circulating throughout the entire globe. Yeah. But I just want to say I'm in a much better place now. I'm happier than I've ever been without him. So what are we talking about today? Well, when all of this started happening, I had journalists in my DMs wanting the story. They wanted the first exclusive look into the story. There was even a journalist on the Daily Mail who said that they had exclusive interview, which it was not an exclusive interview with me. I literally emailed them back and said, like, please leave me alone. It's unfortunate, but like, leave me alone. And they made their headline, exclusive intel, Rachel Waters says situation is unfortunate. Like, come on, bro. Anyways, that's not what we're here to discuss. Legally, since the names have already been posted and dropped, I am now allowed to say them. We all know that from the last video, Pete, we all know Paul Magee. But we're not here to talk strictly about Paul. We're here to talk about Paul's family friend who was obsessed with me for 5 whole days and just writing me novel after novel in my Instagram DMs, trying to make me feel bad and make me feel like I'm an idiot for trying to have any reaction to any of this. And her name is Ruth. Hello, Ruth. This one's for you, babe. So about a month after this story went viral, I was thinking, well, you know, I'm being made to look like such a shitty person. The post looks like I tried to sell my story in order for my YouTube video or for anything. But that wasn't the case at all. There was a journalist in the Norwich group chat that I had posted originally looking for Paul, and he took the story, ran with it. Then I had journalists contacting me after that story was put out, after I'd spoken to Paul's fiance on the phone. We were very friendly, everything was fine. But then I get a bunch of journalists saying, hey, we want your side of the story, but we also want you to know that there's a woman who's calling us from an undisclosed number saying that she is Paul's partner and saying that you actually knew about them the entire time, that you were this home-wrecking hoe bag that just wanted him for his money and this and that. That wasn't the case at all. At all. I didn't know them from Adam. I knew nothing about them. Again though, I still didn't bite. I still didn't sell my story to them. But that didn't stop Ruth. That did not stop Ruth. And Ruth, in America, we would call you a Karen. However, that's okay. I forgive you. But I am going to go through and react to the comments with everybody else that you did make for me. Let's just unpack these and see, maybe I'm confused. Maybe these aren't as disrespectful as I think that they are. She claims on her Instagram bio that she is a newspaper columnist for the Daily Star. What is the Daily Star? That's right, a tabloid. So we will keep that in mind. Follow along if you want to. If not, then you can just pause this, read it, and then keep going, you know. Rachel, I'm a close family friend of Paul Magee and his wife and children. I'm gonna stop you right there because I spoke to his wife on the phone. It's his fiance, not his wife, Ruth. If you were such a close family friend, you would know this. I've spoken with my friends today who have told me of your plan to release a YouTube video about the experience you have had. Yes, I, at that time, wanted to release a YouTube video to explain my side of the story, not going to the papers, not going to the tabloids, nothing, not selling it, giving my point of view on my own channel of like, what, 300 people? So I am a media journalist in the UK, and I'm not sure if you truly understand how the media works over here. All right, the degrading comments right now of me not truly understanding, we can stop that right now, but wait people, it does get worse. The family have been hounded by the tabloids. The newspapers within which this story has appeared are considered tabloid, as they are low grade. Okay. Okay, let's note that. Let's keep that in mind. Low-grade tabloids are the only ones that are posting this story. Got it, Ruth. Offered substantial money for their side of the story, and they've declined on all levels because once something is published in this country, it is never not there. You personally have not come across terribly well. It has been assumed, as is always the case with tabloid newspapers, who when they don't know a full side of the story, take what they do know and run with it. That you sold your story. The public here take a very dim light on those who do that, rightly or wrongly. Thank you, Ruth, but I really don't need the whole breakdown as if I'm some idiot that doesn't understand journalism, but thank you for that. Next message. The culture in the UK is considerably different to the States, so no one with integrity would ever sell a story, no matter how damaging the other side, knowing their own personality would be absolutely assassinated. Assassinated! Thank you, Ruth. I'm not selling a story, but I'm low integrity. Got it. For Paul and children, I won't give away her name. This is a story, which will never go away. Whose fault is that? Not mine. Many marriages suffer from infidelity and can continue. They're not married, Ruth. People make mistakes, but it is considerably harder when you cannot deal with it behind closed doors. For the children, their anonymous standpoint, I don't know why I cannot say that word, has already been compromised. They are so very young, and yet they've had to learn of adult things and information about their parents, which is not appropriate. For the rest of their lives, this story could potentially dog them, and we need for that not to be the case for them. Completely agree. We need them to be safe and to feel safe and to not have any further humiliation, which the continuation of this story being aired would give to them. Again, not my fault. Have not contacted or spoken to any journalists who are contacting me. However, his partner has already called and tried to spin a story in which I look terrible and they look fine. But let's continue. Please, can you consider both your own self-worth here? Walking away makes you far more mature. I know you are young. Before we even begin with that, Ruth, we're not going to try and spin the elder-younger hierarchy here as if someone elder is much more mature and much more knowledgeable than somebody who is younger. Because last I remember, Paul Magee, while he's older, he's still an idiot. He still broke up his family. He deceived 2 women. So let's not do that. I know you may see no consequences right now, but one day when you are married with children of your own, please make it so that you look back on this knowing you did the right thing and not something which gave your social media a boost or your dented heart a quick fix. Hold your head higher than that, and please consider this family of small children who do not deserve to have this story keep appearing in their lives. Walk away, Rachel. No one doubts you've been hurt. Everything about this is unfortunate, and too many people have been hurt. For you, it's just you. For Paul's family, the circle of hurt is huge. Wider family, all their friends. Consider that before you post, please. Look back and know you made the right choice. If you post it, I feel certain one day you will realize how wrong it was, and there's no taking it back once it's done. Yes, there is a big circle of hurt. Yes, it was just me. However, that doesn't negate the fact that I am now supposed to just shut up and let it happen. Let whatever is said about me take its toll. I have every right to give my side of the story, just as whoever that person who called in has every right to say whatever they want to. And this is where Ruth got me. This was the message that really lit the fire under me to say, F them. I don't really care anymore. I'm gonna give my side. I'm not gonna let them drag my name through the mud as if I don't matter, and let them be on their high horse and allow it as if I am this sexual deviant demon that tricked Paul. He just fell into my arms and I wouldn't let him go. Yeah. No, Ruth, that's not how it works. It takes 2 to tango. Also, do be mindful of breaking libel and slander laws, as obviously, even if you don't name Paul, because his name is in the press, if there is any content in your vlog which would reasonably connect him to the person you are talking about, and if that content were to be potentially damning to his reputation, then serious legal ramifications may occur, which could result in hefty legal bills for both parties. Money, thankfully, is not an obstruction to the Magee family, and they would fight any damaging material in a court of civil law. Love, Ruth. So now you're going to threaten me by saying they're super rich, they don't care, they will fight anything that comes out, and if I try to defend myself and say, hey, actually, that's not what happened, this is what happened, here's the proof, then you're gonna say, oh, you're gonna go to court and you're gonna pay for it. Be careful. Ruth, girl, you're digging yourself a hole here. But you know what? It's okay. Because legally, I am allowed to tell my side of the story. Legally, his name is already out there. So if there's anybody that y'all want to start pressing charges with, it should be, who was that anonymous caller that said that they were Paul's partner and said that I actually knew everything? You weren't threatening when it was that side of the story being spun. But then when it's the truth that's gonna come out, Ruth, you don't like the truth. Well, let's continue. Almost done, y'all. There's one more message. So 5 days later, she sends me a message because I finally made a post about it, and I finally called her out saying, all of this, think of the children, everything. Well, where was Paul thinking of the children for 2 years when he was with me? And he had every opportunity to go home on some occasions, but he decided to stay with me. Do I agree with that as a woman? Hell no. But I didn't know about his secret family and his basketball roster of children. I had no idea. So I made a post saying that I was going to release this YouTube video calling Ruth out, saying that I was trying to be silenced, which by these messages, Ruth, girl, you can't deny it at this point. No one wanted to silence you to protect Paul. You were repeatedly asked to think about the children and the effect this will have on them. I'm gonna stop you there, Ruth, because I don't know what kind of high horse you're on. I don't know who you think you are. You're a mother, great, but you ain't my mother. You're not the Queen of England. I don't know what type of entitlement suit that you had that day to think that whatever you ask for, you get. That's not how the world works, Ruth. You were repeatedly asked to think about the children and the effect this will have on them. Again, where was Paul thinking about his own children? Unpopular opinion, I don't care about those kids. I don't know those kids. I only learned about them when everybody else learned about them. I have no obligation to think about the kids. I don't know them. Not my kids, Ruth. Not everybody cares about your kids. That's it. Just long story short, not everybody cares about your kids. You were reminded not to be slanderous and asked to be respectful to the children. Again, I care about children, yes, but Paul's kids, who I just learned about after we ended, I'm not responsible for. I'm not responsible for their well-being. He is, as their father. It's not my fault. Their father's a deadbeat cheat who decided, he made the decision when he got with me for 2 years to destroy his family. He was not thinking about his kids when he was with me. So don't ask me to then take on his responsibility in which he should have been doing the entire time. Let's continue. We're almost done, y'all. As I said before, you may understand one day if you ever have your own. Look back and know this was the wrong thing. Disagreed. I hope that I raise my kids to speak out when they are being torn down. I hope I raise my kids to not act like Paul has acted. I hope I raise my kids to respect women. And I hope I raise my kids not to blame other women for a man's fault. But let's continue. You may not think you let yourself down before, but one day you will know this video has done just that. I'm just so sad that you didn't understand the request and misread it for a threatening silencer. What a shame. Well, Ruth, I don't know why as a woman you are trying to come at me for a man's fault. As a woman, we should be empowering other women, but instead, Ruth, you sat here and you tried to tear me down for giving my own side of the story. And then you tried to use the children as a martyr in whatever this was. But Ruth, I'll say, what a shame it is from you. Blaming a fellow woman for a man's actions is extremely disappointing. What a shame. But Ruth, I can't blame you. I understand you are friends with that family. You are sticking up for them. I get it. However, if you were such close friends with that family and you do understand how damaging tabloids can be, then why did the Daily Star still post the story? Why did the Daily Star still have to remain relevant and post the story that you're saying is going to be very damning for this family that you're so close with? Wouldn't you, as a close friend, put them above this story? But instead, you had to save your own ass at your job and still post the story. But I'm the bad guy. So you can talk about it, all the other tabloids can talk about it, but God forbid strike me down if I actually tell my side of the story. But I mean, hey, it's okay. It's been a year. We're all good, Ruth, but I did just want to give you that message. Ruth, I wish you well. I really hope you spend your energy into much more productive things than my DMs. So. And I will say, Ruth, you are so close with them, but you know the age-old saying, you are who you hang out with. So I would be very careful if you or your family still hang out with Paul Magee, seeing his past actions. Anywho, I wish you well. I hope you have a great life. And if you do come back into my DMs, be a little bit more respectful and a little less degrading. All right, y'all, tell me what you think about this. Did I overreact? Was I wrong? I never responded to any of these, by the way. This is my first time responding to them, actually. Yeah, let me know what you think in the comments, and see you later.